Hello and welcome to day 5 of our Mindful Movement Challenge. Today's class is all about stretching. So I think I mentioned yesterday, a lot of people think that is their main focus when they come to yoga, is they say, oh, I can't do yoga, I'm not flexible, I can't stretch, I can't bend. And I think I've proved to you already, seeing as we're on day 5, that regardless of the reason why you come to yoga, there is a form of yoga for everybody. And there's different ways that we introduce stretching and movement to the body. So we calmed, we connected, we played, and we had a little bit of self-love in day 1. So today is all about stretching. And I want you to remember, when you come into the poses, each of them should feel easy and comfortable. So in Sanskrit, that means sukh. Sukh means easy and comfortable. If you're over pressurizing your body or over stretching it, you'll find some kind of form of tension or maybe shaking. And that's a signal for you just to come out of the pose a little bit and find that really nice, comfortable, easy stretch that you can maintain. And we'll use our breath throughout the practice just to make it slightly easier. Enjoy. Namaste. Hello, welcome to day 5. We're going to start in Shavasana. So make your way down nice and slowly and mindfully down onto the mats and take a nice rest on our backs. I've just got to say something first. For those of you who do yoga with me on a regular basis, you'll know Ben. Ben is my black Springer Lab cross. He's actually in the room with me today, so I do apologise if he gets involved with the yoga at any time. It's usually quite funny, but he's out for the count at the moment, so I'm just going to leave him there. Okay, let's get going. Let's lay down on the back. Take your feet nice and wide apart to the width of the mat and just allow the little toes to rock out to the side. If you do have any tension, tightness in the lower back, please feel free to put a nice bend into the knees and lower the lower back into the ground. Take your arms softly away from the body. Roll the shoulder blades under a little bit and just open up through the chest and the shoulders. And then very gently tuck your chin in towards the chest to lengthen out all the way from your tailbone up towards the crown of the head. Allow the palms to be facing upwards, the little fingers to be curling in towards the palms of the hands. And just take a moment to relax all of the muscles in your face. Allow your shoulder blades to melt into the mat. Feel the whole of your spine just gently settling. Relax your hips and your buttocks, your knees, your ankles and your feet. And make any last adjustments that you'd like so that you can remain in stillness just for the next few moments. And when you feel ready to, let's take a nice deep breath in. And when you're ready, exhale. Next breath in, breathe right the way down to the lower abdomen. Allow the tummy to rise, and as you exhale, gently allow the tummy to fall. Bring your full awareness into the journey of the breath, in through the nose, down into the lungs, and maybe even noticing as you exhale, a slight warmth of the breath onto your top lip. Lovely. When you're ready, take a lovely deep breath in, bring the legs together. Stretch the arms up and overhead. We're going to interlock the fingers and press the palms of the hands away and point your toes, flex your feet, stretch out through the right side, stretch out through the left. Really enjoying this beautiful reawakening stretch. And then as you exhale, just unlock your fingers, relax the feet a little bit. And we're going to walk both our arms across to the left hand side of the mat. So grab hold of your right wrist with your left hand and just gently tease it to the corner of your left side of the mat. Find a nice opening through the right side of your body. If there's any tightness or tension in your right shoulder. Maybe just bend the arm a little bit and allow it to just settle down on towards the ground. If this feels nice for you, walk both your feet towards the left corner of the mat, making yourself into a little banana shape, and allow both the hips and the buttocks to sink down to the ground. You might start to feel the stretch into the hip, into the outside of your right thigh, and all the way up through the ribs on the right hand side. Lovely. Take a nice deep breath in here. As you exhale, just see if you can release any tension and just relax into this stretch. You might like to soften or close the eyes. And we'll take 2 more deep breaths in. Nice deep breath in. Exhale and relax. Find that ease in your body. Deep breath in. And exhale. And then gently, gently release. Bring your arms back to center, walk the legs back to center. And we'll do the same on the other side. So grab hold of your left wrist with your right arm. Bring across to the right side of your mat. And then walk both your feet when you're ready to, if it feels nice, across to the right corner of the mat, making yourself into that banana shape on the other side. Release the shoulder, put a nice bend into the elbow if there's any tension there. Breathe into the side of your ribs, noticing all those muscles stretching and extending. Notice that stretch into the left hip, maybe a little bit into the hip flexor. Lovely, deep breath in. Exhale and relax. Make sure both the buttocks are connected with the ground. Deep breath in and exhale. Last time, inhale and exhale. Walk your hands back to center and the feet, and we'll bring the arms back down by the side of the body, and then hug one knee into the chest and then the other. Give yourself a gentle rock from side to side, and let's stretch out those hamstrings. So you have a choice here. You can bring the left foot down to the ground with the knee up towards the ceiling, and then hug the right knee into the chest really tightly. If you'd like to make your stretch a little bit more active, you can scoot the left leg out along the mat and allow it to hover just 1 inch from the ground. But if you're going to do this, make sure you're engaging your core muscles, pressing the lower back into the ground. Lovely. Take a deep breath in, relax the shoulders. As you exhale, lift your head up towards your right knee. Just lengthening through the spine a little bit, massaging the internal organs. As you exhale, gently release the head. Release the left leg down to the ground if you had that raised. On the next inhalation, we're going to take the right leg up towards the ceiling, holding on to the back of the leg wherever's comfortable for you, just trying to avoid the knee joints. Lovely. So if you've been doing a lot of walking, riding, swimming, cycling, anything like that, you might just find this feels a little bit tight to start with. There'll also be a difference depending on if you're practicing in the morning or the evening. We're a lot more flexible in the evening when we practice. So just be mindful of this and don't try and overstretch anything here. Let's give the foot a nice little flex. See if you can straighten that right leg out a little bit more. Keep the feeling of relaxation into your shoulders. And then point your right toes up towards the ceiling and flex, and just do that a few times. Lovely. And then circle the ankle around to the right and around to the left. Flex the foot, take a deep breath in, hug the tummy in. As you exhale, lift your head up towards the right knee, just intensify that stretch. If your left leg is extended, keep it nice and strong with the foot pointing up towards the ceiling. So the toes up towards the ceiling. Lovely. Take one more deep breath in here. As you exhale, lower the head, hug the knee into the chest. And then bring your left hand onto the right knee. Everybody extend your left leg out along the mat and take the right arm out to the side, making a nice big T shape with your right hand. Take a deep breath in, hug the tummy in. As you exhale, twist the right leg over to the left, coming into a lovely spinal twist, and find that lovely stretch into your shoulder, your chest on the right side. You might find a nice stretch down into the lumbar spine, the lower back, the glutes, maybe even into the hamstring. And we're just softly using the weight of your left hand to tease the knee a little bit closer to the ground. Try and keep the right shoulder connected with the mat. Lovely, a lovely big twist, working through the whole of the spinal column, massaging the 31 pairs of nerves that come out from the spine, bringing lots of lifeblood, energy to the area. Lovely. On the next inhalation, hug the tummy in and bring the right leg back to center. And then either place the right foot down on the ground, or if you extended the left leg, you might like to do the same with the right. So extend it out along the mat, and then we'll hug the left knee in towards the chest. You can always keep that right leg bent if that feels nice. So lengthen the right leg out, keep it nice and engaged, flex the foot, squeeze the left knee really firmly in towards your chest. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Breathing deeply as you exhale, lift your head up towards your left knee. Give it a nice little squeeze. As you exhale, gently lower the head. Softly tucking the chin in, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, extend the left leg up towards the ceiling. Make sure that right leg, if you have it straight, is nice and active. And then just find the edge of your stretch here. Really lengthening out through the whole of the back of your left leg, flexing the foot and just trying to straighten the leg just a little tiny bit more. Now again, pay attention to your body. Are you tensing to get yourself into this pose? If you are, release it slightly so you can enjoy the movement of your body. Really moving mindfully. Point your toes up towards the ceiling, find that stretch in the top of your foot, and then flex the foot. Point and stretch, point and flex, not point and stretch. You know what I mean. And then circle the ankle around to the left, circle around to the right. Come to a nice flexed foot again. Hug the tummy in, take a deep breath. As you exhale, lift your head up towards the left knee. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep the right leg nice and active along the mat. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently lower the head and hug the right knee back, left knee back into the chest. Everybody extend the right leg out along the mat now and hold on to your left knee with your right hand. Extend the left arm out to the side. Keep that shoulder pressing into the ground. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, twist the left leg over to the right. Coming into that lovely spinal twist. And just using the weight of your right hand just to gently tease the knees slightly closer to the ground. Keep a slight engagement of your tummy muscles here and really focus on opening up through your chest and your shoulder on the left side. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, bring the leg back to center. Just give both knees a little hug, rock from side to side. And then you can either roll onto the right hand side of your body and press yourself up to seated, or you can rock all the way up into a comfortable seated position. Okay, let's take the right leg out in front of us and bring the left knee in towards the chest. We're going to give the left knee a really big squeeze here and bring the foot in as close towards your buttock as you can. And then we're going to take the left knee and drop it out to the side and allow the sole of the foot on the left side to press into your right thigh. So it's coming into the inner groin. Bring your hands either side of your right leg and flex your right leg, maybe even seeing if you can get the heel from the floor, which starts to engage into the thigh muscle. Sit up beautifully tall, lift the chest up towards the ceiling. If this knee is really high up in the air, you might like to grab a bolster or a pillow and just give it a little bit of support. On a big inhalation, float the arms up towards the ceiling and lift out of the spine. As you exhale, extend forwards with a nice flat back, keeping that chest lifted, taking the gaze ahead of you until you get to the point where you think, I can't go any further. When you get there, inhale, lengthen through the spine, stretch the fingertips ahead of you slightly, and then as you exhale, allow the hands to come wherever they want. They might be on the thigh, they might be on the calf, maybe down towards the toes. So wherever you are, just lower the hands down, and again, we're going to inhale, lift and lengthen the spine forwards. Find that lovely stretch into your right, into the back of the right leg, and then lower your head down towards the knee. So we want to create expansion and space between the spinal column before we bend over so that the discs don't start to rub between one another. Okay, so again, we're finding the edge of our stretch. Now, if you're all the way up here, that's absolutely fine. Some of you might be up here. What's important is that you're feeling that length down the back of your leg and you're feeling the length through your spine. And then we're going to use our breath. So as we inhale, you'll notice your chest will lift slightly. As you exhale, just see if you can use your breath to relax the body and the mind a little bit more and come a little bit deeper into the pose. And stay here for 2 more breaths. Think about inhaling, lengthening the spine, and exhaling and folding down. 1 more breath. Inhale. Exhale and relax. And on the next inhalation, let's rise the arms up, lengthen through the spine, and exhale, gently release. Place the left hand down behind you. I should have done this the other way around to start, but you'll get the gist. On a big inhalation, we're going to point the right toes, lift the hips up from the ground, and take the right arm up and overhead. Stretch out from your right fingertips to the right toes, lift the hips up, and find that stretch all the way down the right side of your body. The gaze can go just softly in front of you. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, gently release all the way down. And this time we'll bring the right knee in towards the chest and extend the left foot out in front. So squeeze that knee really, really tightly in towards the chest. Lengthen through the spine. Bring the foot as close to your buttocks as you can. And then we'll flop the knee out to the side. Bring in the sole of the foot to the inner thigh. And again, if that doesn't feel nice, put a little prop underneath there. If you need to move the legs slightly further away from the groin, you can also do that. Okay, turn to face over your left leg. Lift the spine, lift the chest, lift the crown of your head. Create that lovely extension through the spine. Inhale, take the arms up towards the ceiling. Lift out of the spine here. As you exhale, hinging forwards, taking the arms ahead of you, taking the gaze ahead of you. When you get to that point, you can't go any further. Inhale, reach forward, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, lower your hands to wherever feels comfortable. And then softly fold the head down towards the knee. Just take a moment to notice where you can feel the stretch. The rest of the body should seem relaxed. We should just be feeling the stretch in the back of your left leg, into the hamstrings and the glutes. Lovely. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the spine again. And exhale, just see if we can lower down a little bit further into the pose. Take 2 more deep breaths here. Inhaling, lengthening the spine. Exhaling, folding down. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Lovely. On the next inhalation, rise the arms up towards the ceiling, lift out of the spine. And as you exhale, place the right hand on the ground behind you. Point your left toes away from you. And then inhale, lift the hips, take the left arm up and overhead. Stretch the left fingertips away, point the left toes away, trying to get them down to the ground. Press the hips up towards the ceiling. Really open up through the left side of the body. Lovely, deep breath in as you exhale, floating all the way back down. And now we're going to come into Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. So let's just gently take the fleshy part of our buttocks away. That's if you have any flesh on your buttocks. I'm just assuming everyone has well-rounded buttocks like myself. Now you have a choice here. If you're really tight in the hamstrings, you're going to put a little bend into your knees here. And then as we come into the pose, you take the arms up and bring the chest towards the thighs. This keeps the spine nice and straight. If you're slightly more flexible, you can extend the legs, and the same process, we bring the chest down towards the thighs. Okay, so let's prepare. Choose whichever one you'd like. Make sure that the toes are slightly engaged in whichever version you're doing. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. Stretch out the left side, the right side. Have a little engagement of the core tummy muscles here, pressing them towards the spine. As you exhale, folding forward as we did in the last pose, reaching ahead of you as much as you can. When you get to the point you can't go any further, inhale, reach forwards, take the gaze forward, lengthen through the spine, and then exhale, bring your hands to wherever they want to go and lower the forehead down. On your next inhalation, lengthen through the spine one more time. And exhale, gently fold. Now for some of you, you may feel that you're really upright here. That is absolutely fine as long as you can feel that extension in the back of your legs and you've got the length through the spine. It doesn't matter where you come. This is your practice. Don't judge yourself about anyone else's. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, just see if you can fold down just a millimetre more. And inhale, rise the arms all the way up. Exhale, take the arms behind. Fingertips will naturally want to go either pointing behind you or they want to point towards you. Doesn't really matter as long as your wrists are comfortable. Please be mindful when we do this pose if you've got any form of shoulder injuries. You might want to skip it. Okay, inhale, roll the shoulders up, back and down. Point your toes away. Really squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift the chest, taking the gaze slightly upwards. On a big inhalation, lift the hips, point the toes away, and maybe take the gaze up towards the ceiling, making a lovely straight spine or straight line all the way from your toes to the crown of the head. Exhale, gently release, bring your hips back down to the ground. And then we'll come all the way over onto the front. So we've nicely stretched out the back of our body here. Now we're going to come on to stretching out the front of the body. So lowering down onto your tummy, bring your forehead to the ground and plant your hands underneath your shoulders. And again, we're going to roll the shoulders up, back and down, squeeze the shoulder blades together and the elbows in towards the ribs. Make sure you've got space between your shoulders and your ears. Feet are together if your spine is comfortable. If you've got any twinges in the lower back, just take them slightly wider apart. Press into the tops of your feet, engage your thighs and press the pelvis into the mat. On a big inhalation, lift the head, the chest, gently push into the hands, press the pelvis into the ground, lengthen through the neck, and we're coming into a beautiful back bend. Just come to wherever is comfortable for you. And again, you may be this low. Some of you, more flexibility might be higher. The important things is to focus on pressing your feet into the ground, engaging your thighs, pressing the pelvis, and taking the shoulders away from your ears, hugging the elbows in. Lovely. Let's take 2 deep breaths in here. Inhale. Maybe feeling your tummy pressing into the ground. And exhale. Release if you need to. Inhale. This time as we exhale, gently release all the way down onto the mat. Make a little cushion with your hands. Place your cheek onto the side. Bring your big toes together. Flop the heels out to the side and gently rock from side to side. Lovely. Just rest here for a moment. And let's do a nice counter pose for our back bend there. Place your hands underneath your shoulders. Press all the way up and bring your hips down towards your heels. Stretching out the back. So walk the hands out in front of you slightly. Sink the hips down towards the heels. Some of you, your forehead may be able to reach the ground, coming into the full extended child's pose. If the forehead doesn't reach the ground, make a little pillow with your hands and bring your forehead onto the hand so the neck isn't just lolling around. It's got a nice little bit of support there. Whichever position you're in, press into the hands a little bit. Sink the hips down towards your heels a little tiny bit more. And then completely relax down. Take a deep breath into the back of the body. Notice the ribs, the muscles, the skin expanding, and exhaling, gently releasing. One more time, deep breath in and exhale. On your next inhalation, bringing yourself up onto your knees, tucking the toes under and walking your hands towards your knees. We're going to lift, coming all the way up to standing. So lift the knees, lift the hips, walk your hands really slowly up your legs and gently roll all the way out, leaving the shoulders and the head till last until you're in Tadasana, standing pose. Okay. Come to the front of your mat. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. Bring your hands to your hips. I'm going to step the right foot back. Toes are coming in the same direction, so we're not turning the toes out to the side here. Keeping everything in alignment, and we're making sure that the pelvis is in alignment as well. It's not shooting out to the side. Everything facing the same way. Now hug the tummy in here, lift the chest and lengthen through the tailbone. Interlock your fingers behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and open up through the front of the chest. So you've got a lovely stretch into the chest and the front of the shoulders. Really nice counter pose for anyone that sits at computers for a long time or reads books or spends time on their phone. Okay, lengthen through the neck here, lengthen through the spine. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, hinge at the hips, coming forward with a nice flat back. Just find the stretch in the back of your left hamstring first, and then see if you can fold down over the leg and raise the arms up towards the ceiling. Okay, use your breath to breathe. Find that easy comfortableness in the stretch. It's a deep stretch. If this is too tight, you might like to bring your hands to your hips, or maybe down to the floor if there's any tension in the shoulders. If you've got your hands extended up to the ceiling, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, press the arms slightly higher up towards the ceiling. And then inhale, lower the arms to the ground, put a little bend into your left leg, and then float back up to standing. Beautiful, hands come to your hips, step the right foot forward, and we'll do the same on the left. So this is called pyramid pose, really nice one for stretching out, or pretty much the front and the back of the body in this one. Okay, so step the left foot back, it's not too wide a stance, just make sure the toes are pointing in the same line. This time you can either interlock the hands behind you, or you can try for reverse prayer. where you bring your hands together on your lower back, roll the shoulders up, back and down, and squeeze the shoulders together. So your choice here, pick whichever position you'd like to do. You can always do this with your hands in front if there's any tension in the shoulders. Inhale, lift and lengthen, hug the tummy in as you exhale, hinging forward with that nice flat back, and then folding all the way down. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, press your palms together if you're in reverse prayer, or lift the arms up to the ceiling if you've clasped your hands. Find the opening in the front of the body, find the stretch in the back of your right leg. Keep the neck and the spine nice and straight. Deep breath in, lovely deep breath out. On your next inhalation, lower the arms, bring them down to the either side of the right foot, put a little bend into your front leg, and then rise all the way up. Step your left foot to the front of the mat. Okay, take your feet about 4 or 5 inches apart. We're going to come into a little forward fold. So this is a really nice way to stretch from literally from your forehead all the way over your skull, all the way down the back of the body, underneath the feet to the back of the toes. Okay, inhale, rise the arms up. As you exhale, hinge forward at the hips, straight back, coming all the way down to the ground. Now your hands might come to your thighs, they might come to your calves. Some of you might be able to reach down to the toes or to the floor. But just move your body mindfully wherever it wants to go. Bring the weight ever so slightly forward onto your toes. Lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Suck the tummy in underneath the lower rib cage and press your chest down towards your thighs. Relaxing your shoulders, your neck. Take your gaze towards your knees and the crown of the head is pointing down towards the floor. If you are able to reach your toes, you can wrap your first 2 fingers and thumb around the big toes and just use that to pull you down just a little bit deeper, taking the elbows out to the side and then lengthen through the back of the legs just a little bit more. And exhale, gently release. Lovely, wherever you are, put a nice bend in your knees, plant the hands in front of you. I'm going to step the left foot back as far as you can along the mat and lower the back knee to the ground. Your right knee should be stacked directly over the right ankle joint. So we've come into a nice low lunge position. Starting to stretch and open up into the hips now. So inhale, sink the hips down, but find the engagement of your core muscles so you're not sinking your chest down towards the ground as well. So the hips are sinking down, but we're slightly lifting the chest up, maybe coming onto the fingertips. Really root down through your top of your back foot and the toes of your front foot. This might be enough for some of you. You can stay here. If you're feeling a little stronger, inhale, rise the arms up towards the ceiling. Lift out to the right side, the left side, the front and back of the body. Hug the tummy in, lengthen through the tailbone. Beautiful. Bring your right hand behind your neck to the top of your back and grab hold of the elbow with your left hand. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, gently twist to the right. To the left. Find the stretch on the right side of your body. Find the stretch in your left hip flexor. Inhale, come up to center, release the arms down. And on a big inhalation, tuck the back toes under, step to the front of the mat and just spend a couple of moments in your forward fold. Just a nice soft one, maybe just swaying from side to side. Okay, and then bend the knees, plant the hands on the ground, step the right foot back this time. Lovely big step back. Lower the back knee. Sink the hip down. Engage your core muscles. Lengthen through the tailbone. Pull up the pelvic floor. Press into your feet. Again, you can stay here, just coming up onto the tiptoes, or you can rise the arms all the way up. Keep those muscles engaged all around the core to protect the lower back. Don't allow the body just to sink and flop here. There's an engagement of the muscles. Bring the left hand to the top of your back. Grab hold of the right elbow, left elbow. I've got my lefts and rights wrong today, haven't I? Just find the stretch into your tricep. Lifting the chest up towards the ceiling, but lengthening through the tailbone. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, just folding slightly to the right. Whoops. Should be a message not to talk and do yoga at the same time. And then inhale, gently release, lower the arms all the way down to the ground. This time we're going to step the left foot back to meet the right. And we'll finish today's class in child's pose. So sink the hips down towards the heels. You can either have the hands extended out along the mat, forehead towards the ground. Do support the forehead if you need to. Or you can slide your hands all the way down, bringing the backs of the hands to the mat and relaxing your forehead, your shoulders, the whole of the spine having a nice stretch. And just finishing with some nice deep breaths. So take a deep breath in. And a lovely long exhalation. Release any tension. Nice deep breath in. Lovely long exhalation. And then just allow your breath to come back to its natural rhythm. Very, very slowly, rolling out of your child's pose to a gentle kneeling position. Bring your hands to prayer in front of your heart. Softly close the eyes. Just observe how that practice has made you feel. Maybe you feel a little taller. Maybe you feel a little bit more flexible. Let's take a deep breath in. As we exhale, just bow the hands, the head down to the hands. Namaste. Lovely. Thank you very much. I hope you all enjoyed that lovely full body stretch, and I'll see you on the mat tomorrow. And here comes Ben. Late to the party, but doing a fabulous downward dog.